When you are in your 20s, you imagine life is going to feel like an adventure. You imagine traveling, discovering new things, growing as a person, meeting new people, building something meaningful. Your 20s feel like the decade where everything is supposed to happen, but then something interesting happens. You get your first corporate job. At first, it feels exciting. You finally have a salary. You finally feel independent. You feel like you're stepping into the real world. And for a moment, it feels like you're moving forward. But after a while, something starts to feel different. And it's not something people usually talk about. The biggest problem with corporate jobs in your 20s is not the salary, it's not the boss, and it's not even the work itself. The biggest problem is that little by little, your time stops belonging to you. Your routine starts to look the same every day. You wake up early, you get ready for work, you answer emails, you attend meetings, you solve problems, you finish the day tired. Then you wake up again and do the same thing tomorrow. And before you know it, the week is gone. Then the month, then the year, and suddenly you realize something strange. You are busy all the time, but you don't always feel like you're moving forward in your own story. When I was younger, I imagined my career as something exciting. I studied engineering. I thought about the projects, the technology, the challenges. In many ways, that part is true. Engineering can be incredibly interesting. You solve real problems. You work on complex systems. You see how science and technology actually shape the world around us. But there is another side to it that people rarely talk about. Because even in a career like engineering, something subtle can happen over time. Your days become structured around the same rhythm. Wake up early, travel to the site, meet with the team, analyze problems, write reports, plan the next steps, and then repeat the process again tomorrow, and again the next week, and again the next month, and again the next year. And once again, there is nothing wrong with working hard. Work can build discipline. Work can build skill. Work can build character. But when you are in your 20s, something important can get lost in the routine. Curiosity, exploration, the feeling that you are building something of your own. For me, this realization happened slowly. I work as an engineer, and my job has taken me to many different places: airports, flights, different countries, hotels, project sites, long work days solving technical problems. And on the surface, it looks like a great life. Traveling for work, working on real projects, meeting different teams. But during those moments, traveling between projects, I started thinking about something. I started asking myself a simple question: is this the only thing I'm going to build in my life? Because a job can give you stability, it can give you experience, it can give you opportunities, but it doesn't always give you ownership. Ownership is something different. Ownership means building something that belongs to you, something that grows with your effort, something that reflects your ideas and your creativity, something that you control. That thought stayed in my mind for a long time, especially during quiet moments. Sitting in an airport, working in a hotel room, traveling between job sites. And that's when I started exploring something new. I started learning about building things online, creating content, learning about affiliate marketing, understanding how digital businesses work. And at the beginning, nothing really happened. Just like learning engineering in the beginning, when you start engineering school, everything feels difficult. The concepts are complicated, the problems take hours to solve. You don't feel like you know what you are doing. But slowly, something changes. You start understanding the fundamentals. You start connecting ideas. You start gaining confidence. And little by little, the things that once seemed impossible start making sense. Building something online felt exactly the same way. At the beginning, it feels confusing. You try things, you experiment, you fail, you learn, and slowly you start understanding the system. That's when something interesting happens. Your perspective changes. Your job stops feeling like a cage. Instead, it starts feeling like a launchpad. Because now your job is not the only thing shaping your future, it's just one part of your life, not the entire story. And I think this is one of the most important lessons for people in their 20s. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to reject the corporate world. But you also shouldn't stop exploring. Your 20s are the decade where you experiment. You try things, you build skills, you discover what you are capable of. Sometimes the biggest mistake people make is believe they have to follow only one path. But life rarely works like that. You can build a career and at the same time build something else. You can work as an engineer and still build your own projects. You can learn new skills, you can explore new ideas, you can create opportunities that didn't exist before. And over time, those small efforts start to compound. One skill leads to another, one project leads to another, one idea opens the doors to something bigger, and eventually you look back and realize how far you've come. Your 20s are not supposed to be perfect, you're supposed to be experimental. They're supposed to be the decade where you discover who you are and what you want to build. Because one day you look back at this time in your life and you realize something important. This was the moment your real journey began. Not when everything was certain, not when everything was comfortable, but when you decide to start exploring your own path. So if you are in your 20s right now, working a job, trying to figure things out, building your career, feeling uncertain about the future, that's completely normal. But remember something, your job may be part of your life, but it doesn't have to be the whole story. Your 20s are not a waiting room, they're the beginning of your adventure, and the best journeys always start with a single step.